Across borders, we head to the United States, and a second night of protest in the U.S. against President-elect Donald Trump has turned violent in Portland, Oregon. Several thousand demonstrators gathered in the center of the western city. Some smashed shops and car windows and threw firecrackers to set rubbish alight. Now, the state of Oregon voted 41% in favor of Democrat Hillary Clinton in Tuesday's elections, and protesters in other cities were smaller than on Wednesday. And this afternoon, I do have on Skype to interact with me Steve Miller, who works with the Voice of America. Hello, Steve.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, and thanks for your time. Now, we're still seeing protests, and is this going to end anytime soon?
That's a very difficult question to answer. As you mentioned, we've seen protests the last 2 days across the United States: Washington, Baltimore, Philadelphia, New York on the East Coast, Denver in the state of Colorado, where 3,000 protesters gathered, also in California and San Francisco and Los Angeles, and up in the Pacific Northwest with Seattle and Portland. There are a lot of people who feel disenfranchised by the vote. This was a very contentious election, with about 30% of the U.S. population who voting for Hillary Clinton, another 30% voting for President-elect Trump. While President-elect Trump won the electoral vote, it does appear that Hillary Clinton is going to win the popular vote. And they're those who are protesting are expressing concerns over some of candidate Donald Trump's statements during the election process. So they may continue to protest. Largely, the protests have been peaceful, but as we saw last night in a few different areas, there were some acts of violence and a number of arrests made earlier today.
Now, building up on what you just said, these protesters mainly are young persons. What does this say?
Well, throughout the election, we saw that there was a general movement by younger voters who wanted to see change. That's why so many galvanized and came out towards Bernie Sanders on the Democratic side during the primaries. A lot of millennials, these younger voters, also came out in response to Donald Trump. So what we see is that the very vocal electorate on both sides of the aisle appear to be these younger voters who want change, who want to see the system change, and who want to see things progress differently for the country. So as President-elect Trump moves forward in his transition, they're going to be continuously vocal, which is their First Amendment right to peacefully assemble and make their points heard.
All right, well, thank you very much, Steve Miller. He was just interacting with me on Skype on updates and developments after President-elect Donald Trump's win to the presidency.